Hello and welcome to another edition of MotorCars Enthusiast. Right off the bat, General Motors look like they're going to be dipping their toe back into the mid-sized truck market as they've released this teaser photo of the brand new Colorado and Canyon that will be coming soon. No definite due date for these vehicles, but we'll keep you in tune on what comes of this in the future. Next up on the list, rumors float about that Toyota may not be building the convertible version of the GT86, otherwise known as the BRZ in the United States, or the FRS, I should say. The BRZ is sold all around the world, but the FRS is being sold by Scion. The convertible version, apparently they don't have a business model that is going to work, at least for them, coming soon, so we'll have to wait and see. There is a convertible concept that's going to be shown off at the Tokyo Motor Show, but we'll have to wait and see what comes of this deal in the future. There is talk that there is going to be a turbocharged version of the FRS GT86 to go head-to-head with that BRZ STI version, so at least the good news there, but we'll wait and see what comes on this convertible. Next up on the list, Range Rover, the new Evoque, apparently is going to get a Sport RS model, which does include a bunch of great stuff, including new wheels, new tires, new suspension settings, new braking, bigger body kit on it and whatnot to show off its sporting looks. And the horsepower department is going to get a bump up of 60 brake horsepower from that 2-liter turbocharged engine to 300 brake horsepower. And the same as the Evoque, supposedly the big brother is going to get the same treatment, as we're going to see a Range Rover Sport RS. That's going to be coming soon. Again, different wheels, tires, also a body kit to make it look a little bit cooler, advanced suspension settings, and also the braking settings that will show off this vehicle's sporting heritage from the past. Now that Jaguar Source supercharged V8 is going to get a bump up in the horsepower, as well as it's going to be making 540 to 550 brake horsepower. Hopefully we'll get some stuff on this at Frankfurt, hopefully, but no real release date on what this thing could come about, but we'll keep you in tune. Next up on the list, speaking of the Tokyo Motor Show, speaking of Toyota, Toyota is showing off this emblem with very little else known about it. They're going to have a Hybrid R concept that's going to be showing up at the Tokyo Motor Show. One thing we do know about this is it's going to have their Le Mans prototype drivetrain in this thing, which means that Toyota may be on their way back with their little start with the GT86 to building enthusiast sports cars, and this thing is going to be borderline supercar, as this particular vehicle has a normally aspirated V8 putting out 530 brake horsepower, along with a twin electric engine drivetrain that adds another 300 brake horsepower, over 800 horsepower. This thing is going to be a doggone rocket ship and a supercar beater. So I am applauding Toyota for even having the moxie to even try doing this. So I cannot wait to see what the Hybrid R is, and I hope that it's a reality and it comes to dealer showrooms very soon. Speaking of a supercar, the Squadra Corse that we showed off, the LP570-4 Lamborghini Gallardo Special Edition. Well, Lamborghini released a little info where they said they weren't going to have any info to Frankfurt Motor Show. We've got official pricing and production numbers. This vehicle, U.S. pricing, is going to be $259,100 US dollars. But there's talk that this vehicle will be only building 15 units of this vehicle, which means the chances of you seeing one are slim to none. But if they're releasing production numbers this far ahead of Frankfurt, they may be trying to dip in and just see what kind of interest there is in this particular vehicle. So you may see those production numbers actually jump up just a tad bit. We'll wait and see what comes of this in Frankfurt. And last up on the list, many moons ago, I actually bought a satellite dish because my father and I could no longer watch NHRA drag racing because it got switched over to a channel called ESPN2, which our local cable provider didn't have. So, later on with this satellite dish, I upgraded my package to get a little channel called SPEEDVISION, an all motorsports programming channel, which was absolutely fantastic. It showed a lot of weirdo races way back in the day. Now, this channel, like me, continued to get fatter and balder and lazier, but as it grew to become Speed Channel, then later to become Speed, actually do get bought up by Fox Sports. The past several years have been really awful. Some of the shows that they put on there were just craptastic, really awful programming that they tried to put on there. But they were trying to open it up to a much larger market than just the hardcore automotive enthusiasts and racing fans. But that being said, Speed was a fantastic network. All the way through the years, it opened up my world of motorsports from when I just watched NHRA drag racing, monster trucks, and NASCAR, and Formula One racing. It opened my eyes to so many great racing series from around the world, including DTM, or German touring cars, along with the JGTC, or the Japanese touring cars. They only showed a handful of those races here on Speed. Not to mention the British Touring Car Championships, which are some of the best racing on the planet were done in that particular series. And then the V8 supercars from down in Australia. In fact, a couple of live episodes, including the Bathurst 1000, was shown live on Speed a couple of years ago, which is fantastic to watch. And one of my favorites, it opened me up to the world of World Championship rallying. I absolutely love the WRSC, and then also the American Rallies Associations. There were a couple of them that fired up after the big brouhaha of WRC racing in the U.S. But I tell you what, I just absolutely adored this channel. Also, some of the automotive programming were great, including Barrett-Jackson. I think Barrett-Jackson has a lot to thank for Speed Channel. Maybe a little bit on the other hand, too, as I don't think a lot of people would even know what Barrett-Jackson auctions were. Speaking of Barrett-Jackson, remember we talked about that GT500 Mustang that was going to be sold off at Reno? Well, it sold off a couple of days ago for $500,000. Pretty doggone impressive. But the automotive programming was great too. In fact, it introduced me to Fifth Gear, the hardcore version of Top Gear in the UK. This UK program was just awesome. And I tell you what, if you have Netflix and you have their streaming instant queue situation, you can get episodes of Fifth Gear, and you can waste a whole weekend watching those back to back because they are fantastic. I just have a lot to love about the Speed Channel. It was a go-to channel for me each and every day for the past, during 15, 20 years. It was a fantastic station, and it will be dearly, dearly missed. The only thing that I am really happy about is now there's going to be a niche opening up for an all-automotive motorsports programming channel in the United States and hopefully around the world that I can't wait. And I hope that someone's in the works building this right now, because you have my blessing. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motorcars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. We got some videos of some Spaniards who are actually building fake Ferraris that have to be seen to be believed, because they look dang near real. You know that real hardcore people will notice that they're wrong, but I think they were building them with builder's foam, which was pretty doggone impressive. Not to mention, if you want to see a real Ferrari, the LaFerrari being tested around the Hungaro ring with world champion driver Fernando Alonso at the wheels on the old Facebook page. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.